Hi there, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. It's the start of May here and my first frost is not far away, so I thought I'd harvest my sweet potatoes and start them in the curing process. I'd also like to gather seeds from several different plants and get those ready to store so they can grow them again next season. This is only my second sweet potato growing season, so I'm not very practiced at it. Last year, I planted one sweet potato plant and got one sweet potato, so I'm hoping for a better harvest this season. Now it's just a small patch of sweet potatoes because I'm still experimenting with it. If I get some confidence in the coming years, then I might give it a bit more space. But I started slips probably back in July on a heat mat, and it took a little while to get plants going. But I put in about 4 or 5 plants, and then I planted the whole sweet potato into the ground, and that's growing as well. Now there is evidence of sweet potatoes here, so I'm pretty excited. I'm just going to start by trimming away all these vines so that we can identify where the sweet potatoes are growing. Now that all the vines are out the way, I can identify where the potatoes are likely to be. So I'm going to try just digging with my hands. The skin is apparently quite delicate before you cure it, so I don't want to damage it with my spade. Now that I've identified where they kind of are, I will get my spade in and just really carefully loosen the soil around them. There's just like tons of little worms in here. But it's hard to get these out using no dig. I'll have to just continue to build up my compost so that maybe in future I can grow them in a compost layer. Here's my first one. It did snap off at the base, so I might try and get it. There we go. Bite-sized ones. Oh, well, there's a start. Oh, hang on, this one's not out. Perfect. All right, I'll move on to my next little patch. This has got quite a few in here, I'd say. I've never dug up sweet potatoes before, once before I had one. So I don't quite know what to expect or how far to go. Oops, and see, the skin's really delicate at this point, so you've got to be really careful not to damage it. Oh! Huh. Oh, snapped him off. Oh. Well, that looks pretty good. Beautiful. These ones are really deep. I've already damaged one with my spade. Ooh, broke that one off. That one's a bit better. Okay, pretty pleased so far. We've got a patch here, and a patch under here still. And I don't know what this guy will reveal, but we'll find out soon. It's pretty exciting, especially with the colour of the sweet potato. You just kind of keep digging and revealing a bit more of all these beauties. It's just a little dude. I think we're nearly there. Oh, just loosen this one a little bit more. Not a bad haul of sweet potatoes. This is the sweet potato that it all came from. I did buy myself a big organic potato from the Whole Foods shop, and it did very well. I can't remember what I paid for it, but for me, that is a great haul of sweet potatoes. I'll gather these all up now and I'll show you what I've got in mind to see if I can cure them. Well, I'm pretty pleased with that haul of sweet potatoes. Certainly beat my last year's total of 1. Before I take that inside though to do the curing, I am going to just gather some seeds. I've been saving this large zucchini because I do want to save seeds from it. The plant itself has died off. This plant next to it is still giving a few zucchinis, but this one has done its job of producing some seeds. So I'm going to take that one inside to harvest some seeds from. It was ready to go. I didn't even have to cut that off. Right next to my zucchini was where I was growing one of my varieties of cucumbers called a Space Master cucumber. And I've left one of those so I can harvest seeds as well. This one is well past normal harvest and is certainly ready to go. The vine has died off, so that should just come away. And we can take that inside to harvest the seeds. Also in this cucumber zucchini area, I have this fennel here, which I can't help but leave the flowers for the bees. They really love it. But it does then produce masses of seeds. I will harvest some of these seeds. I do like it for flavouring dishes, toast it up and do some pickling. When I'm harvesting seeds, I generally have a little bucket on hand and I just cut off the whole seed head and worry about getting the seeds off that later. That's probably going to be all I need. So the rest of these will just head off to the compost. The seeds fall off really easily off these seed heads if you just give it a bit of a scrunch. Also in this same area, I've had some celery go to seed and it's growing lots of celery right in this area, but celery seed is actually great for flavouring dishes as well. A bit like fennel, it gives its own particular flavour. So I'm just going to grab some of these seeds to store in the kitchen. I'll soon be letting these guys into the wild area of my veggie garden so that I can get it under control for next spring. But in the meantime, it's been a source of many seeds. Over the back there, we're going to get some carrot seeds. Now, just like the fennel, we're going to just cut these little seed heads off and give them a scrunch and see what we can get. They're pretty old seed heads. Hopefully the seeds are still all okay. Then you just need to do some winnowing. Bit more tidying up to do. There's plenty of little spiders and bugs in there. In my greenhouse, I'm growing some Anaheim chilies. I've left some of them to go red so that I can harvest the seeds. One of them's just here. The bugs are starting to eat it, so I'm going to grab that and see if it's got some seeds that I can save to grow some more plants for next year. Another fruit that I've been leaving to fully ripen and develop the seeds is another cucumber, and this is the long green variety of cucumber, which was really a great producer this year. So I definitely want to save these seeds. This cucumber is the only one of my cucumbers still trying to develop fruit on it. It's got these two that are growing still, and I've still got this beauty to grab when I need it. But today, I'm just going to take this one. The last seeds that I want to save is from this plant here. It is producing yellow peppers. It still has some green on it. The weather's starting to cool off now, so I'm a little bit worried about leaving it any longer before harvesting it, especially for these seeds. So that's all the seeds that I want to gather for today. I'm going to grab my sweet potatoes, head inside. I'll start getting these ready for storage, and I'll also show you what I've got in mind for curing my sweet potatoes. I've just weighed my sweet potatoes and I've got around 5 kilos, which I'm really happy with. So the important thing now is to cure them properly so that they store well. The curing changes the starches in the sweet potato into sugars, so they become a lot sweeter. Now you need to keep them for a couple of weeks at around 30 degrees, 32 degrees Celsius. So the only way I can think of to do that, or keep them warm at all, is on a heat mat that I usually use for my seedlings. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in the laundry and all my sweet potatoes into this tub and sit them there for 2 weeks and just see how they go. This box has got a bit of wax on it. I do use it for when I'm processing honey and wax, so these sweet potatoes will be just fine in here. I think that's my best one. Probably should brush some of the dirt off. The soil's a bit wet, so it's hard to rub off actually. Alright, I'm just going to store it right there next to my pumpkin. I'll be checking the temperature in a day or so and just see if it's warming up. It's that time of the year where I seem to have seeds all over the place. Now I've got my fennel into a jar and my celery seed. I've still got to get this carrot seed without all the rest of the debris in it, but I'll get to that. But right now, I'm going to just grab the seeds out of all of these. For the pepper seeds, it's really simple to get the seeds out. All you need to do is cut that open. I'll sit them in a little dish for a few days just to make sure that they are dry, and label it properly, especially if I'm doing 2 peppers at the one time. So I'll cut this open and see how it is. It has had bugs get to it, so we'll just see. Yeah, it's not too bad. That can go into the fridge and I'll eat that. And basically all I do, you just pop off those little seeds. Just the larger ones, because the small ones mightn't be viable. So that's my yellow capsicum. I'll just pop the little label in there so I don't forget what it is. Pop that out to the chickens and do the same with this pepper. Now, with this pepper, it's been attacked by bugs and now it's got some mould or a fungus growing there. So some of those seeds kind of look okay, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to wait for another pepper to mature, and then I'm going to save the seed from that one. So off to the chickens with that one. You can see there the little yellow capsicum seeds look really good. But we'll move on to our other 3 seeds we've got here. Now this is the long green capsicum, and I'm just going to slice it down the side there. just off center so that I cut through less of the seeds. And all you need to do is scrape those seeds out of there. So the seeds look really good. They're nice and plump and certainly look mature. It does come with all this gel on it. So what you need to do is just put this into water for a couple of days and it ferments. Then you put it through a little strainer, and then generally I put the seeds onto paper towel to dry. With these seeds, they were fermented for a couple of days and through the strainer and rinsing it with water, and they come up nice and clean. And they dry on the paper towel really well like that. I usually just label it on the paper towel so you don't forget what you've got going. So I'll just pop those into that bowl. In a couple of days' time, all of those seeds will be released from that gel. And I usually set it up on my windowsill so that I don't forget it. And I make sure I put a little name there too. And generally I'll put the bowl on the name so that it doesn't float away. And that one can now go to the chickens as well. Now I'll just do the same with my Space Master cucumber. He's huge. And on the shelf again with that one. And I always clean up any seeds that are lying around. I'll get rid of those because you'll lose track of what they are and you don't want to get mixed up. Now, just the same again with the zucchini. They certainly get a lot tougher when they get bigger. So I've cut through some of the little zucchini seeds, but there's some that are beautiful. So I'm going to get out what I can and again just put it into the water. If you have cut through any of them or damaged them, don't worry about those. Just get the undamaged seeds. I'll just try and separate the seeds from as much of this as I can. It's easier when you are straining them from the liquid if there's less of all of this. Okay, I've got all the seeds out now. So into that water and over on my little shelf. I'll leave those for 2 days and then strain them and dry them out. It's next day and my potatoes are warming up nicely actually, but I've had to add a towel to absorb any moisture and just put the lid on so that the moisture can be released. Well, I'm pretty excited with my harvest of sweet potatoes. I hope that they dry okay here. And I've done a bit more seed saving, so next season I'll have plenty of plants to grow again. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for watching and bye for now.